If you're new to acrylic, this is Katie's first try at doing acrylic nails.
It is.
Yeah, she's going to learn, and if you're learning, you're going to learn from her.
Oh, no pressure.
Let's get started. You've never done any beads. You've never done anything with acrylic before.
No.
Brand spanking.
Total noob. I have no idea what I'm doing.
So the first thing is no people.
No people.
Don't do any people.
No.
You'll really be frustrated and disappointed if you start doing it on people. So the first thing we want to do is get a fake finger or a piece of paper or anything like that that you can just try acrylic beads.
Okay.
And the reason why the beads are important is because if your bead's not happy, you cannot make a good nail.
Okay.
So if your bead's runny, you're not in control. If your bead's dry and rolling away, you're not in control. So we want to understand how important liquid and powder together is. It's called the liquid to powder ratio.
Okay.
So that's what I'm going to show you in this video, and we'll see how far we can get.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so you've got your acrylic brush. And what we first want to do is we've got a slower set and a faster set. Which one would you like to start working with?
Let's do the fast set just because.
Oh, she is challenging.
Try.
Okay.
I don't know.
This is the fast. Okay.
All right.
So what you want to do is to get that perfect bead, it's how much time you spend in the monomer, the wet liquid stuff, and how much time you spend in the powder absorbing each other.
Okay.
Okay. So you want to get that brush totally soaked.
And you were spinning it, is what you were doing.
We did another video together. And you don't have to.
Well, it gets a lot of bubbles out of the brush.
That's kind of why I guess I do it. I have to examine everything why I do it. I just do it. Right?
Yeah.
And then you have to sort of break down when you're teaching someone why you do it.
Okay, so am I taking some off or not?
Yeah, you can just take a little bit off. So you get it fully saturated, and then you just hit the side once or twice, little ones, maybe one big one, two little ones, whatever you want.
Okay.
And all you're doing is releasing most of the drippy stuff. You don't want to, and then you want to lay it in your powder for about 1, 2, 3, 4. And I do hold it there. That's good.
That's good.
Now place that bead on that fake nail. Yep. Now clean your brush and now play.
And now play.
Now that bead is good. And I'm going to tell you why it's good.
Why is it good?
Because it ain't running. You are in control.
Okay, good.
So she has some padding experience and shaping experience because you played with hybrid gel.
Yes, I do.
So you know where you want to go, and now you're just playing with it. It's a different brush, it's a different feel. So you want to keep more of a padding motion.
Okay.
And don't worry about placement or anything. I'm just really happy that you made a beautiful bead.
Thank you. Now, why? Because when I was getting my nails done with acrylics, people would drag it.
Yeah, I wouldn't drag it. I don't bounce it. I don't pull it. I don't dip it like that. Okay. I just hold it a steady 3-ish seconds. I think the reason why people bounce is because they're looking for a rhythm.
Oh, okay.
But when you bounce it in and out of it, you're moving the liquid in and out. And also, too, it's not very long time, but they are different times that you're absorbing the powder.
Right.
So they'd be different, but it's not that big a deal. It's only a split second.
So can you go back in and dip your monomer?
No,
you can't.
Great
You
question.
can't do that?
You shouldn't, because you're upsetting the balance of the liquid to powder ratio that you've created.
Oh.
You should create the liquid to powder ratio bead correctly right out of the gate. If you're having to add more monomer, then you feel it's not wet enough.
Right.
And if it's not wet enough, you can't add it later. It's like you make a cake and you put all the right ingredients in, then you bake it. Oh no, I forgot the eggs. You can't put them in later.
No, you can't.
No,
okay.
You got to do it then because that's when it matters. When you add it after, you're not actually blending it together.
Okay.
You're actually upsetting the balance of the bead that you've created.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
I thought you could,
No.
and you can't do that.
And it makes sense because you want to get a little more liquid and just, blend it. Because you're doing it with the alcohol when you're working with Easy Gel.
Yes.
You do that. And you can do that with that because it's evaporating. But this stuff is
Doesn't.
not getting into that bead and not, it's dried now, right?
Yeah.
You actually did that pretty good.
Did I?
For facet, that's pretty good.
Okay.
Okay, so let's create another bead.
Okay.
And see how happy you are with that bead.
Okay.
And you just keep going. You just keep creating beads, and we'll just go for the free edge. So do what you're doing there. Yeah, that's good.
Oh, so I just put more on top.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And you don't have to cure in between because it's curing right now.
Oh, I didn't know that. And so I go 1,
Just hold.
2,
3. Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Place that on there, and then clean that brush. Get rid of all the goop. Yep. Then go in and start creating right away. You do not have any time to wait.
Oh,
and just kind of keep, I know, so that's what makes you want to speed up, but just keep that soft, gentle patting movement. Pulling doesn't work, just a nice pat. Not unlike hybrid gel.
Yeah. It is it's definitely a different product. It's definitely a different technique, but it's okay.
But you see how it's not running around on you?
No,
see how
it's
you're
not.
in control there?
It's not running
That's
around
very
on me.
good.
I'm not even thinking about an apex right now.
I always call the beginning nails turtles because you make these lumpy, bumpy things, and that's totally
lumpy,
fine.
Bumpy.
Totally normal. You have to do lots of fails in order to get to the one that you want.
Yes.
But that's really good.
Okay. I don't know.
No, that's good. Now, this is a giant finger.
This is huge.
Yeah.
This is enormous. It's like...
Yeah, it's not representing a real finger that you get across the
No.
tip. Sure, you'll get some fingers that are bigger.
But not this
Hey,
big.
I've been doing this for 35 years,
big.
and I don't come across fingers that big that often. I find these really particularly big. And they're great because they're forgiving. There's no finger that's in your way and stuff, right?
Okay.
So it's very misleading as to what a real finger is like. But you got to start somewhere.
I think that's about all
You
I've
can't
got.
move that guy anymore.
I think that's it.
Okay. Yeah, they're very good. You got very good control of the beads. So I'm going to snap this off, and I'm going to give you another one because I want you to make another bead, and I'm not going to talk you through this one.
Oh, good Lord.
Now, you're picking this up pretty quick. If you are watching this and you're doing it and your beads are running everywhere and you can't get the same as Katie's, she's actually doing really, really well.
Oh, thank
So
you.
you're not a real typical student in the sense that they should be running everywhere. You should be having a lot more difficulty. Swear words can even be exchanged.
Oh, swear words. Okay,
Yes.
I'm good at those. I'm good at those.
That's very normal
Ask
to be
my
doing
children.
that. So I would understand if that's where you went, but you're actually handling this pretty good. So just go for another bead. I want to see if it's beginner's luck.
All right. Oh, gosh. Now she's really...
I put the pressure on you now.
All right. It's really soaked in there.
Yeah. It's good.
Oh, no, I'm
That's
doing
good.
that.
No, that's good.
And then I clean
Clean
it
it
off.
off, and then you start to shape.
I'm so fascinated at how you would get the cuticle done so quickly.
Okay. Let's explore that.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a big bead, and you put the consistency is beautiful.
Okay.
You did a really good job. Let's move on.
Oh,
that's
we're
good.
moving. We're
We're going to
moving.
move on because you asked a great question, and we're going to explore that question. Bet you get a whole bag of these.
Oh.
It makes it really easy for learning. Look at that. Just go for it. Okay, let's just give you a new nail. Now, there's different sizes here.
Okay.
I'm going to snap in a smaller one that's a little more realistic. Okay. Okay, look at that. See, that's a little bit better. Maybe to one of my bigger size fingers.
Yes.
That's a little bit better. Okay, so let's turn this around. So you asked, how do you get that cuticle?
How do you get the cuticle in there? Because you don't want... the goal is, from what I understand, the goal is to make sure the monomer doesn't touch the skin or as minimal as possible. How do you do that?
Yes. A way smaller bead. And this is where bead control comes in.
Okay.
So now you say, I need a smaller bead. Right now, she's only done this 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, twice.
Right?
You've
You have
watched
10
it.
minutes experience. So right now, you've learned to get quite a good sized bead.
Okay.
But right now, we need a small bead. So naturally, we want that brush to absorb a lot less liquid.
Okay.
Because it's going to pick up a lot less powder. Therefore, we're going to have a much smaller bead.
Okay.
That's why I don't like big brushes. Big brushes will upset the balance of this.
Makes
so
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so get your brush right there.
Okay.
This is an oval 8, and I do highly recommend a 6 or an 8. A 10 if you're going to, for learning, especially for learning. But even my whole career, I had an 8. I love it.
Okay.
Okay, so we want to soak it again.
Okay.
So we want to release quite a bit of it this time. A little bit more we want to release because we want a much smaller bead. Because the monomer will determine how big that bead's going to be. Because even if you got the monomer, the right amount of monomer, a lot less, and left it into the powder the same amount of time, you'll end up with a dry bead.
Okay.
Right? So maybe you say, I want a smaller bead. I'm going to get the same amount of liquid and leave my brush in the powder for less amount of time to absorb a smaller bead. You're going to have a very wet bead. Does that make sense?
Yes, this is very complicated.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Maybe I'm moving a little too fast.
No, you're not. You're not.
Okay.
It's just...
Yeah, it is.
You don't
a lot.
think of all of
No.
it. You don't think of all, like with the hybrid gel, it's just all done for you. This is a lot more nuance that you have to know.
You got it.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what learning is all about.
Yeah.
So obtain a much So soak it again because we've been talking.
Yes, because we've been talking. So because the monomer is going to evaporate, right? The monomer kind of?
Yes,
no? Yeah.
it will evaporate. Yeah. Regular setting, fast setting, it will evaporate much more. The slower stuff evaporates much, much slower.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why it doesn't smell so much.
All right.
Okay, so a lot less monomer, and then just put the tip in and hold it there for basically the same amount of time. Yeah, come on out of there. Now you got the tiny little bead. Don't put it too close.
Oh.
Back a little bit. Just maybe put it right about here.
Oh.
Clean your brush. Look at that tiny little bead.
It's very tiny.
It's adorable.
It's tiny.
And now you want to flatten that. Now this is where the brush technique comes in. You want to get your bristles between that cuticle and the product and try to make it as thin as possible.
Like, is this correct?
Your motions are all good. It's still a little bit thick around that cuticle. Okay. Now I will tell you, before you get down on yourself, because she's a bit of a perfectionist.
I am.
Making the cuticle smooth is one of the most difficult points on the nail. You've got the side walls, you got the cuticle, you got the apex, you got the free edge. The cuticle's the hardest.
The hardest one.
Okay.
I have it pretty good on my Easy Gel, so I'm like, oh God.
Exactly. So you're attacking a very hard thing to do, especially working with a very difficult product, and you're attacking the most hardest spot to do. Okay? All right. And you're doing pretty good. Well, look at that.
I don't know. There we go.
Look at
That's
you go.
What I was able to do.
Right. Okay. So maybe let's try. I'm going to leave that finger there. Oh no, I'm going to take that one off. This is your fast set cuticle. Let's try
a slow set.
That might help you, give you a little more time to do the cuticle edge a little bit better. Let's try it. Let's see what happens.
I'm excited.
Okay, that's this one. So soak your brush in there. Mm-hmm. Get it completely saturated.
Oh, are we English
now wipe it off again because we got some fast set. We just want to make, I'm sure it's evaporated by now, but just, okay. Now go ahead and soak like crazy. Yeah. Now we want a little bead.
Right. So I'm taking off.
Yeah. Take off quite a bit. Yeah. Keep going. Keep going. Yeah. Get rid of some more. Yeah. That's good.
Okay.
Now just the edge of it, just the very end of it. Yeah. Rest it in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
Okay. Now pop it on. Little back a little bit further. Not so close.
Further.
Yeah.
How's that?
No. Yeah. Yep. And then clean your brush. Now wait.
It's got
just
it
chill.
Right.
We're just gonna chill out. It's on slow time. It's on a whole different.
I might prefer this. You could get a mimosa or something.
That's right. Like... We're in the nail matrix. We're just gonna
slow it right down.
Just slow it right down.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, see, it has it sort of glosses over.
It did.
Now see, it's not running.
No,
that
it's not
means
running.
You did a right bead.
Oh.
Now we want to go in and take that brush. Now it's all about angles, and I'm just going to show you. Mm-hmm. When you just take the tip of it here and press it down,
and then it
it down. Okay. But you want to, you're just so pushing it so it's nice and thin near that cuticle, right? Go ahead.
Okay.
I'll let you do the rest.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Now, because we do know how much playtime we have with Monomer, in the other video, we learned that.
Tons of time.
Right? Now, you can clean your brush off if you a little bit, get rid of a little bit more Monomer.
No, not that?
Yeah, you just dry it up.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then go back in and just keep playing.
Okay. This is much more forgiving.
It is. You got a little bit more time. Not that you weren't doing so bad with the faster set stuff.
No.
You did actually really good.
But I can see right off the bat how frustrating that would be.
Yeah. If you're pushing yourself, we only did it for 5 minutes, but if you kept doing the whole nail.
Because you feel it in your, oh gosh, I gotta hurry.
Yeah,
this is not the same. This is like have a cup of tea, hang out.
Yeah. Now this is a beginning level situation to try to remove frustration.
Yes.
Try to remove that speed out of there and give you some time to grasp on exactly where you want to go.
Yes.
Look at that.
Because I still have a little spot right there. That's
that's okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
All right.
Good girl.
How we got there.
Now go in there, see if you can get a bigger bead and put it in the middle like an apex. We're just gonna, I didn't think you'd get this far, but let's just go and see if we can build.
All right.
Yeah.
So this is a regular size bead? Is what I'm doing?
Or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Medium to, regular, a little bit big on the bigger side. Hold it right in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then place it. And then clean your brush. And then 1, 2. And you can sort of see, you're just looking at it and you can sort of see that it's, it's still kind of, it's not falling, which is the right ratio.
Yes.
I wish you did a wrong ratio so they could have actually seen what the wrong ratio is.
Sorry.
See how it's kind of shiny?
It's
and
almost
just sort of relaxed.
Yeah.
Now you can attack it.
So I don't know if anybody bakes, but I used to bake and bake cakes, etc., etc. And if you're doing a dough, there's a certain consistency for dough or cake batter.
Oh, interesting.
So it's sort of like that. You have to find your right consistency for you.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you do. So I don't know if that's.
Yeah, you can use that maneuver. It's not common, but it does work.
Mr. Cameraman over there, he's like, you're blocking the shot. Okay, now see if I'm cakey. What now?
This is such a good. I'm glad you had that happen because that's one of my video ideas I'm going to be doing with you.
Okay.
Okay, so you're cakey because you got to clean that.
Okay.
Anything that gets in your brush, you want to get it out.
Okay.
Because the best time to shape is with a clean, dryish brush.
Okay.
Yeah. That's when your your product's going to respond the best.
I'm looking for the apex here. I don't know how.
And we don't have to worry about that.
I know,
so
but I was looking anyway. See, there's much more playtime here for sure.
Yep. Look at that. You're still going.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's lots of playtime left in this one.
Yeah.
There's tons of playtime left in this one. Interesting. I keep wanting to drag, but don't drag. Don't drag.
Yeah, you can if it's wet enough.
Right.
But really the patting motion, acrylic loves to be patted. It loves to be just pushed into place as opposed to dragged.
Okay. All right. Oh, clean. Clean,
dryish brush. You'll get the best results out of it. Because when you have goop in your brush and you go back into your bead, the bead now grabs onto the brush. It sticks to it.
Okay.
And then you're going like this and you're like, why isn't it? And you're not shaping it because you've got goop in the brush and it's actually diving into it and digging into it. That's why it's really important. You can do another one if you feel comfortable.
Yeah. It's definitely different. It's fun though.
Yeah, it is very different than hybrid gel, you mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very different.
One thing I did notice that you do seem to do naturally is when she's putting the brush into the monomer and soaking it, and then she's releasing on the one side, you still take your brush and you have the monomer that was on this side. You don't flip the brush so the monomer is on the top side.
No.
You instinctively know to keep them. Once you take your dappen dish and you go like this and you release monomer, the monomer is mostly on this side. Then you go into the powder and lay it from your monomer side down.
Okay.
Don't flip the brush over. You do that instinctively, which I'm impressed by.
That's cool. I think I made a mess here.
That's okay. That's what sculpting is all about, right? And just jumping ahead, when you're filing and sculpting, it becomes easier to do because when you're putting on the product, sculpting with the product,
you can do it more.
You can make your filing so much better. So I used to, in the old days, I could do a set of nails in an hour. But
see my face? An hour.
But I would take, let's say, 15, 20 minutes applying product and then a half an hour to file and shape it all up.
Okay.
And then I went for some education and just put away everything that I knew and thought, I'm just going to go in green as much as I could.
Yeah.
And what I learned was, this was obviously years ago, I sculpted, took me half an hour to sculpt.
And then you only have...
And I only had 10 minutes in filing. So it doesn't really matter. You can do whichever way you want. Just for me, that was a better workflow.
Yes.
I preferred that. So after a while, I got really good at sculpting it. And then I shortened my sculpting with the file down way more.
Interesting.
So it just depends on your workflow.
The things you learn.
Look at that.
I still have some on the free edge.
You can go for it if you want.
Okay, let's try.
And you're doing the slow set. Now, why are you doing the slow set over the faster setting? Are you feeling more comfortable with it?
Yeah, I'm feeling more comfortable. This is more my speed with the easy gel that I use of yours.
Got you. The hybrid gel.
Yeah, the hybrid gel.
Yeah, you're right. It is more similar to that, actually.
So now we're waiting. See, I think I put it too far back again.
Where are you going with it? You're trying to get it on the end?
Edge, yeah.
But you can pat it into that spot. Don't forget to give it a little bit more, 6 seconds.
More time. More time.
Yeah, that's good. Go for it.
Yeah, what's fascinating to me, so you're using the hybrid gel, you can't really see I don't anyway, see the ridges of the applications that I've done.
Right.
So this is different this way.
Yeah, I never thought of it. That's right. Now, when you do the hybrid gel, do you put it all on at once and get it right until you nuke it? Or do you put sections on and nuke it and section and nuke it and section
I'm
and
getting
nuke it?
pretty good right now that I can get a decent sized bead and I only have to add a second 1 or 2 beads afterwards. Like
That's really good.
I'm getting there. But it depends on, I think it depends on my mood too. Like, am I relaxed enough to do that?
That's so true. And
Like-
that's one thing. That's why I like to that's why I make a clean station. Because when I'm
Yes.
doing nails, I'm not clean. I'm not a neat freak.
No.
No, it's a mess. But when I'm teaching, I try to make sure nothing on the table is except what we're working with.
Yes.
So your mind's not cluttered.
Yes.
And then just like a relaxing atmosphere and in a good headspace.
And that's what I try and do with my own nails, is because I'll do them on a Friday night when my kids are watching, a movie and having pizza. I'll put on a movie for myself and then spend the 3 hours doing my nails.
That's a
for
good
me.
idea. Yeah.
It's
That's
self-care.
great.
Self-care.
Yeah, exactly. And you just want to do it in a really comfortable, relaxed space.
Yeah.
That looks great.
Well, I don't know. Let's hope so.
That's great. Well, that's great. You really caught on to that. I wish
Okay.
I kept the other one. I think it's in the garbage. See if you can get that.
We'll see. Now I'm rooting in the garbage, Susie. Okay. All right. Here we go.
It's okay. So this is your slower set, and that's your faster set.
Interesting.
You know what? I'm just going to get a finger so we can actually see it. You actually did really good on
thank
both.
you.
So this faster set did allow you to make it smoother, I think, because you
Yes.
just brushed it off and it was cured on you.
Yes.
And it left the cuticle quite a bit thicker.
Yes, it
Again, this is your first acrylic
That was my
nail,
first
so
thing
of course
going,
you're going to have it like that. But the slower set did allow you to give you more time to thin that cuticle out. It's not as even as what this is not even either, but it's
No.
just so thick that it just looks a little bit more even in the camera. But this is a little bit thinner along here, which is exactly what you're going for.
Okay.
That's exactly what you want.
Okay.
This would lift like crazy in the first week probably if you left it like this for a client, which of course we wouldn't want to do that.
Say that again.
This thick one,
would lift.
yeah.
Okay.
Thick is not better.
No.
I mean, obviously it's thick and it would naturally quite lift. And it has a lot to do with your preparation work too. But if you leave a thick nail of any type near a cuticle like that, it's going to lift.
Okay.
So it likes to be nice and thin like you've got here. So actually, that's really great progress. Again, with the fast monomer that you did this, it's pretty good.
Cool.
But like you say, it was a little bit, you were feeling a little bit rushed.
I
a
was
little bit.
feeling rushed. I was. Yeah.
And you might just go to the slow set and use it for a month or so and then move right on to the fast set if that's what you prefer.
Yeah.
And there's no really advantage other than it sets faster and it's easier to get. Regular monomer is much easier to get than odorless.
Yes.
But the odorless gives you advantage if you're working at home, let's say with your husband, which I find husbands are much more sensitive to the smell, so they often don't like the
He said he'd volunteer.
Oh, we should do that.
And I was like, can I leave them on? And he goes, no, you have to take them off before I go to work. And I was like, okay.
That's
Fine,
funny.
party pooper.
Anybody that you can get a hold of that wants to do it. But that's why I like these, because you're practicing on these first, because prepping the nail is a whole other topic for acrylic. Okay, well, you did fantastic.
Thank you
I'm
very
really,
much.
really impressed. So the next thing we're going to talk about, not in this video, but it'll be the next one, we're going to talk about brushes and how to handle your brush and
All
get rid of the
right.
goop.